Commercial real estate is cyclical, and within the context of the real estate cycle, investors are always thinking about the decision to buy versus build. You can also think about this as a decision to acquire existing assets versus build new ones. If it's cheaper to buy a building than it is to build one, you should be buying new ones. If it's cheaper to build a building than to buy one, you should be building buildings. That's a very simple way of thinking about it, but you've got to recognize that the risk profiles associated with those two decisions are completely different. When you're buying an existing building, there's in-place cash flow. And when you're buying in-place cash flow, by definition, it's a less risky investment. When you're building a building, there is no cash in place. You're buying raw land. It's going to take you time to build the building. You've got to lease that building. And there are a whole bunch of things that could change throughout that time period. Let's just think about the decision to, buy a building for $200,000 or build one for $180,000 a unit. That sounds great on the face of it, right? It's $20,000 cheaper to build a new building. But let's say, for example, you've assumed that you can build a building in a year. That assumes 1 year of real estate taxes, 1 year of insurance costs, 1 year of interest on your loan. But let's say in reality, it ends up taking you 2 years. Is that $200,000 to buy versus $180,000 to build still accurate? Probably not, because 2 years of real estate taxes, 2 years of insurance, 2 years of interest is going to increase the cost associated with building a building. Today, when you're projecting your cash flows and what you'll be able to get in terms of rental income, you may not fully capture the fact that there's going to be more new buildings in the market when you go to lease your building up. If there's more buildings, more supply, that means you might get lower rent, which means you're going to have a lower numerator, which means your yield's going to be even lower, right? And so there's just so many unknowns associated with developing new assets. And so when it comes to the buy versus build decision, again, you want to look at the math. Can you buy for numbers that are less than what it would cost you to build? But you've got to consider all the unknowns and the risks associated with development as well.